What made you want to move over to the 215s?
Flying a jet aircraft to me has to be the most boring job in the world. Plus the fact that it was an air ambulance. We had two citations. One was a dedicated air ambulance. The other one was a utility airplane, which we flew people around in. There were some pretty good trips on that. But you come to work on a night shift, 3 o'clock in the morning. You're northbound to pick up somebody that's sick and bring them back down. And there again, I said, "What in the heck am I doing here?" So a few days later, I was on the 215s. Just totally bored with it. You take off and you're on the autopilot already. So you sit there and you're staring out the window, and the water bombers, there's absolutely no autopilots, nothing automated in them whatsoever on the old 215s. The 415s, I'm not sure about that airplane. There's no autopilots, I know, but there's a lot of automation in the thing now. But you had to fly them, and the 215 is an unstable airplane, which is what you want for the job it does.
Why is that?
Because you can maneuver it at the last minute.
Oh.
You see the old, you had the old DC-4s and old military aircraft that were stable, old bombers. Mm-hmm. They were very stable airplanes. And you had to line it up, and to get that airplane to change its mind to move over a little bit was a big job. Yeah. The 215, you just give it a kick and over it goes. If you ever go out and look at the 215, you notice the wings are perfectly flat. There's no dihedral on them or anything like that. Yeah. And it's short with a big tail on it and all that. That's an unstable airplane. But it's not dangerous. It's just unstable. You have to fly it. Yeah. You take your hands off it, and it wanders off. It has its own mind.
But I guess that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, you gotta fly the thing all the time. Yeah.
So, how did that stack up against planes like the Beaver or the Otter?
The Beaver, well, the Otter was a pretty stable airplane. Totally different. It's just, they were the Beaver and the Otter, single engine airplane, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And the 215s had humongous big radial engines, two of them on there. They got the R2800 CA3 engines, which is 18 cylinders. The 2100 stands for the cubic inches to the closest 3 or 4 inches. And they got 2,100 horsepower each at sea level on a standard day, sort of thing. Lots of power. Yeah, and it's interesting is we'd land when the 215 originally came out. It had these big pipes at the bottom of the airplane that you just touch down on the surface of the lake, and the tanks fill up with water. You keep on going. And it had these pipes. I call them sewer pipes. I never flew it with those things on, but number 250 had them at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then outfit out in Calgary there, they designed up a new probe system on there. But anyway, the old probe system, you had to touch down on the water, let the airplane slow down to 70 knots, and then put the probes down and give her. And you needed a lot of big lake for it. So on the new system, you could land with the probes down, and your maximum speed was 90 knots on it, and made a big difference, So 250 was modified, put the new probe system in it. But it was interesting when you get a new guy in there and you land with it. Well, training, you don't have the probes down, and the airplane just settles onto the water. Then with the probes on there, holy cow! It jerks right down, and you gotta be ready for it. And usually they're not ready for it. Interesting times, but you get to fly an airplane, and you know what it's going to do. And having been an instructor, I knew what was going to happen. Yeah. So you're ready.